Hello and welcome back to Smart Credit Bytes. I'm your host Sangeeta Sharma, and if you're joining me for the first time, welcome to this community where we decode the world of MSME finance in plain and simple language. Yes, before we dive in, don't forget to follow and subscribe me on Spotify so you never miss an insider episode. Each week I share practical banking wisdom from my years as a credit officer. Lessons that can save entrepreneurs from costly mistakes and help credit professionals sharpen their lens. So let's start. Now, let me ask you something. What if I told you, even if you pay every EMI on time, you could still be called a defaulter? Yes, you heard me right. Because hidden inside your sanction letter are promises called loan covenants. And if you break them knowingly or unknowingly, your bank has the legal right to recall your loan. Most borrowers have never even heard the word covenants, and yet covenants control the freedom of your business far more than you even realize. Today, I will take you inside these silent traps, explain what these are, why banks love them, and how borrowers often trip up, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. So, stay with me till the end. This might be the most important episode you listen to before signing in your next loan agreement. So let's start on plain and simple. A covenant is basically a promise you make to the bank, not just to repay, but to do or not do certain things during the lifetime of the loan. Yes, these are of two types. First is positive covenants. These tell you the things you must do. For example, submit your that stock and receivable statement monthly or quarterly. Maintain insurance on your asset. These can be your movable, immovable assets. Keep your financial ratios above a minimum or within the limit, I can say. And the second type is negative covenants. Yes, restriction of what you must not do. These restrict you. Suppose let's take example. They say don't take additional loan without approval. Don't change ownership or promoters without the approval of bank. Don't pay out big dividends. You cannot open your current account without the bank's or your lender's permission. So let's think of this way. Repayment is like the surface of water, right? Covenants are the undercurrent. They may be invisible, but they can pull you down if you ignore them. Now you will ask, what is banker's perspective? From banker's perspective, user covenants are like a monitoring system. They provide early warning signals before a borrower defaults. Yes. And now from borrower's perspective, for entrepreneurs, covenants can feel like handcuffs. Yes. They limit your freedom even when the business is doing really very well. Now let's understand the most common covenants that are written in your sanction letter. First is financial covenants. Okay, they tell you about your ratios, in what limit you need to maintain. Suppose banker say you have to maintain your DSCR above 1.25. Your current ratio must be above 1.33. You need to maintain your TOL by TNW or DER ratio within certain rate. You need to maintain your minimum net worth requirement. If you slip below even once, you breach the contract. Yes. And now the second type is informative covenants. You need to submit your audited financials annually. You need to file your GST returns on time. You need to submit your monthly or quarterly stock statements. But many MSMEs get caught here. Not because they don't pay, but because they don't file paperwork on time. Yes. And now third type, it can be restrictive covenants. So no new loan without the consent of your lender. Yes, this is one of the covenants that are put up in maximum sanction letter or loan agreements. No mergers or ownership changes without approval. Or there can be any covenants like limit on how much dividend you can withdraw. Yes. Now there is one type of covenant, that is collateral covenants. This is keep insurance valid with bank as beneficiary. Yes, it can be of your movable assets or immovable assets, and you need to ensure that bank is the beneficiary. Bank name is hypothecated in the insurance. You need to maintain proper margin on stock and receivables. Now, I remember a borrower who always paid his EMIs on time. You know what? But once he forgot to renew his insurance of factory equipment, and now the bank, when during audit, the bank checked his insurance, it was expired, and the bank treated it as covenant breach and froze his drawing power for months. Yes, he didn't lose because of default, he lost because of his own negligence. Here's where it gets much more serious. Even you think these are the trap most borrowers never see coming. It can be your technical default. Even if you are paying, missing a single covenant is considered default. Example, you can take, suppose you delay submitting your audited statement, bank flags you. There are cross default clause. If you default on one loan anywhere, this loan too is automatically considered default. Can you imagine the chain reaction here? Yes, if your loan defaults because of any reason, sometimes it's due to technical reason or any reason, you need to check. There is a cross default clause. Now, the next clause is as and when required clause. Many entrepreneurs miss this, but this is very important. Vague wording like bank may ask for additional collateral, sorry, as and when required. This means tomorrow the bank can suddenly ask for more security. You need to check before signing your sanction letter or your loan agreement for that awaited loan, so that you are not in difficulty tomorrow, right? And there are some dividend or withdrawal restrictions too. I told you earlier, sanction letter can limit how much promoter can withdraw. For an MSME, this feels like interference in business freedom, right? So next time, whenever you go, please check. Uh, I remember one MSME owner. Um, he was very angry. He came to me and saying his loan account was marked irregular, even though he was paying his all the EMIs regularly. There was no default from his case. And when I checked, the reason was he missed 2 months of stock statement submission, and due to which his account was in SMA 2, right? Because this is also same a part of covenants of his sanction letter. That's it. Paperwork default triggered everything. Yes, these are practical and live example which I have faced in my career. Many borrowers are, they are very furious, but while taking loan they forget these things. You need to keep this in mind, right? And now, what moral you can drive is covenants are silent traps. Not reading them carefully is equal to walking blindfolded through a minefield. Yes. Now let's be fair. Banks are not villains, right? Why do they even love them? Because if it was your money, you would definitely be cautious. They lend the depositor money, and they act as a security guard. They need safeguards, right? Covenants act like their early warning systems. These help banks to ensure borrowers don't over leverage. Yes, they protect the loan from becoming NPA before it's too late. So covenants are risk management tool. But here's the key. Banks know them, borrowers don't. That imbalance creates problems. So now you will ask, how can I as a borrower stay safe? Here are some few points I have listed. Suppose before signing your sanction letter or loan agreement, read it line by line. Don't skip the fine print. Oh, it is so long, but this can save you in long run. Make a compliance calendar. When you get a sanction letter, just read it thoroughly and make a compliance calendar. Note when you need to pay, when you need to give bank stock statement, when you need to conduct your audits. Yeah, you need to check your ratios. Just maintain a diary, or you can maintain a calendar. You can maintain in digital form. And most importantly, always maintain a calendar for your insurance renewal, right? Now you can also negotiate upfront. If convent feels like it is unfair, ask your banker to relax or modify before signing. They can always do, but you need to convey them before, right? You can also keep transparent communication. If you see oh no, this ratio is not within limit due to maybe any region, or you failed to submit any stock statement, or maybe your DP is not coming, just inform your banker early and request them waiver. They can always do that, because this create a bond of trust between you and your banker. Never ignore notices. If you get any notice from bank, respond immediately. If bank flags this as non-compliance, tell them, right? Here's a tip from me: assign one team member or even your CA to monitor compliance. You can think of it as a health checkups. Small attention saves you a huge crisis, right? Told you also, you can also even check. You can maintain a digital diary or digital note where you can check the compliance. It hardly takes 10 minutes a day, right? And it is not necessary you are checking every day. You can check it within in 1 month once or twice, right? You will know. So now let's recap today's insight. Conveyance are silent promises inside your loan agreement, right? They can be positive or negative, and both are equally important, right? Breaching a covenant is equal to default, even if you EMIs are all time, right? Bank insert them to protect themselves, but you can manage them with awareness. Your best strategy is to read, negotiate, comply, and communicate. And now here's the final thought. Smart entrepreneurs don't just celebrate loan approval, they master the fine print. Now, this was my episode 10 of Smart Credit Bytes. If you found this episode helpful, share it with one business owner or any credit officer who needs to understand this. You might just save them from a future crisis. And don't forget to follow and subscribe so you never miss my next episode. Thank you.